you can see what
Can I give an example?
Absolutely.
I know a guy. He was in a long, I guess, committed relationship or whatever with a female. They ended up, like, they would break up, get back together. They had about, I think, 3 children together.
Okay.
Now, this particular female, this is a good guy. I would call him a good guy. It ain't too many guys I'd be like, well, he's a good guy.
Is this one of your friends? Because this
No.
might discredit you. Okay. Okay. No, go ahead.
Nah. And his girlfriend would, like, take, like, the rent money and, like, bill money, and, like she would just, like, it would disappear. Like, and he would be looking from month to month, like, okay, how am I gonna pay rent? Like, I gave her my portion of the rent or whatever, the bill money. She's supposed to, you know, take care of that or whatever. She would just, like, kind of just blow the money and just, we don't know what she was doing. I don't know. I have my own personal theories or whatever, but whatever. So this type of behavior, like, constantly for, like, years and, like, seriously, years of this type of behavior, like, going to the daycare and it's like, you haven't paid in 3 weeks. What do you mean I ain't paid in 3 weeks? Like,
Okay, but
would you tell that individual to continue to, and I know there's women that can come up with the women's side of it, like, girl, you need to get away from him because whatever. But why would I sit up there and tell a person to continue to put themselves in a situation like that?
So you're telling the man to walk out on a woman because she has bad money management skills.
I didn't tell him to walk out on
I'm not
a
saying that you, but someone is saying to leave your family because someone has bad money management skills. I mean, common sense would say stop putting money in her hand and you take care of it yourself. Like, why are you giving her the money to pay the rent? Why are you giving her the money to pay the babysitter?
That's what I said.
But that doesn't mean leave your family.
Right.
That's
That's what I said.
That's an argument that when it comes to self, you need to say, okay, well, I keep giving it to her and she ain't doing the right thing.
Right,
so
right.
I'm just going to take care of it myself.
Right.
And, like, let's try to move forward.
Right.
Again, how are people doing any and every? I'm talking about the people that's not even trying. You just out.
But see, I think that some people are trying. I just think that some people should have never laid down together in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, that's neither here nor there, though.
Yeah, I mean, but we said in a perfect world, in certain situations, in a perfect world, some people shouldn't have never even laid down together in the first place. Truth be told.
After they do. Then.
After they do, I mean, I personally think it's whether or not you're in the house with your child or not. For some people, some people are just bad parents. Even if they in the home with their child, like I've heard people say my dad or mom was an alcoholic or a drug addict and da-da-da. I mean, so as their spouse, if you're dealing with someone, my point was if you're dealing with someone with a major issue, but it's affecting not only themselves, but it's affecting you and the kids, why would you keep yourself in an unhealthy situation?
Why are you not taking a look at self and trying to fix things? Like, why are you not trying to go to some kind of counseling? Why are you not going to church together? Why are you not, living whatever other lifestyle that you live together to bring y'all closer? Like, obviously, your focus is not the other person's focus.
Right.
Because if y'all were both focused on the best of the child, why is it? I mean, and I know in certain circumstances, it's not going to work. I know that. I'm living proof of it. Like, me and my son's father are not together, and I come from a home where my parents together 30 plus years.
Right.
So, I mean, and I have to admit, like, for me, like, I tried everything I could. I honestly did. And I think that I stayed longer because I was like, I grew up in a home with my mom and my dad, and, like, if you missed out on that, that's unfortunate because the structure that you get is so many of the lessons that you learn and things of that nature with, both parents being in that household. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just took this from my son.
So,
hold on, let's take this call.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're on with Control Chaos.
Turn your computer down.
I'm trying. I think I'm going to have to leave the room, y'all. Okay, so... How y'all doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm okay. So I was listening to Heat speak, and I was calling basically, I come from the same situation. Well, I won't say situation, but family upbringing that he came from. Both of my parents were together when they raised 3 children, myself and 2 boys. And I tried to stay in a relationship with my daughters. I have 2 daughters with the same man. And because I thought that is, you know, how family was supposed to be and is supposed to be, with 2 parents in the home, I struggled with a lot of abuse that I wasn't aware of because I didn't see it as a child. Right. And so I dealt with a lot because I said, well, the bottom line is this is my child's father. You know, we're supposed to be together. But I had to make that decision, and I think my wake-up call was one day that I was really upset at him, and my daughters were just simply playing at 2 and 3 years old in the house. And, you know, they were loud, but they were just being kids. And I screamed and I yelled at them. And I realized it wasn't them that I was mad at. It was their father. Right. So that's a light case of abuse, but it can turn into worse things when you have an unhappy parent dealing with so much. It affects the children, bottom line for me.
I agree.
Right. I agree. Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, and I definitely agree with her. And again, there's always an exception.
Of course.
And
of course.
I definitely think that when abuse is in the situation, that I feel like there's no other way. Kind of, I mean, you can try to stay, but at the end of the day, your most important thing to do is show your kids what a man looks like. Show your kids how a woman should be treated. You know what I mean?
I
Even
agree.
if it's just the foundational, you know, key aspects of how they should be treated. So, you know, no, you don't ever want to let your kids know, you know, like, okay, well, it's okay that daddy put his hands on mommy and mommy stayed. You don't want to stay. In that instance, I agree. You should get out.
Right.
But, you know, like she said, she tried everything, but she started getting hit. She got to go.
Right.
Like, I understand that. But I guess for me, it's more or less kind of like the people that just not really, you know, the first argument, daddy done moved out the house. And then daddy moved back in the house because they cool. And then daddy moved out the house. Like,
right. Yeah, no, that type of stuff. No, I totally agree. But I think something that people do not talk about, and it's kind of like the elephant in the room, is a lot of people suffer from emotional abuse. Like, whether it's verbal or just the emotions of just being, some people are miserable, man. Like, every day of their life is just like, they're not even there. Like, they're just going through so much from a bad relationship, and I'd rather see someone remove themselves from that situation, get themselves back healthy, and be, I guess, the person that you know that they were created to be. And that's my only thing. Like, but I agree with you in a sense that people give up too fast. Like, you know, it's the quit factor is always on the table. Like, well, if this don't work out, then I can. You know, I agree with that. Like, that's not what's up. That's not the right type of attitude to have. So I agree with you on that.
Okay, you guys, we are just getting started. Don Boyce and myself just getting started up in here.
It's getting hot.
But no, we're gonna talk about when we come back. You know, the lack of structure in homes because of this. You know, some of the effects that children are suffering because of the parents' lack of effort. You guys, you don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be back. You're on with Control Chaos on iWatchRadio.com, the first and only internet radio station to stream live on Facebook. You guys, will be back in a minute.